Good morning, everyone. So this morning, I felt very strongly that we needed to have, that we needed to have a two options, not spread, I suppose. It'd be like a pick a card kind of thing. If you've ever done those before, basically you pick a pile and whichever one you're drawn to. And that's kind of the advice for you for that day or whatever. But I feel like there's somebody kind of making a decision today. And the decision seems to be a difficult one. But I'm working with Neon Moon Tarot. They have a, what are they? Pocket-sized edition? Is that what they're, I don't know what they're called. With a smaller deck and a larger deck as well. And I like the smaller deck, just fits so nicely. But anyhow. All right. I think we're just going to do it this way because this is feeling like our two options here. I will sometimes like let the cards come flying out at me, and sometimes I will just pull off the top of the deck, whichever kind of feels right at the moment. And today it just felt like, no, I wanted to pick cards that were off the top of the deck. So, sorry, trying to get myself seated comfortably here. I've been dealing with horrible shoulder pain recently, so trying to ease that. But we're going to say that this is you, the 10 of Wires. Oh, you know what? I'm going to share this with you guys because this is the great thing about this deck. If I can find out where I put it. My favorite part of this deck is they have flavor texts. Flavor text, I guess. And it's like just a little, almost part of a story that goes along with each card if you don't know what flavor texts are. I didn't know what they were until my husband, who plays like Magic the Gathering and that kind of thing, he's like, yeah, I know what this is. Okay, cool. So this is the 10 of Wires, right? And in the reverse position, it gives the basic example of, or basic description of the card itself, right? Taking on too much burden, that kind of thing, right? But the flavor text says this: I can't do this forever, and I've kept pushing away any who try to help me. I thought I was helping, but I don't know if I can climb these buildings, if I can still climb these buildings, and I don't know if I can still lift these wires. And now there is no one who will do this in my stead. So, a little bit of a depressing card. Not the best example, I guess, but it just gives you the feel for it without telling you exactly what it means. So this person is just exhausted and feels like no one can, like if they're gone, that's it. No one else can take the reins, and they're just burdened down by that thought and feeling overwhelmed by it. So we're going to try to do this. I should pull a couple of stones here. This is grape agate, and this is, you know what? I don't actually remember what it's called. I'm sorry. If I remember before the end of the video, I'll tell you, but I don't remember what it's called. But it's very, very heart chakra kind of stone there. So we'll call this Group A and we'll call this Group B. Take a minute, pick which side feels closest to you, and that will be hopefully help you in whatever decision you're having to make today. We all get, what is it called? It's like decision exhaustion or decision something, but it's basically when you have too many decisions you have to make in a day, it completely wears you out, it completely exhausts you, and you can't, like, you just end up not being able to make good decisions anymore because you're just tired of making decisions. So wow, off on a tangent there, sorry. The point is, this hopefully will help you kind of whatever decision that you're having to deal with right now, whatever is wearing you down right now, or weighing you down right now. Pick whichever side feels right to you. All right. So we're going to start with Group A. Oh. Okay. So I say that because in this deck in particular, one of the cards that popped up for Group A is the 9 of Arms. If you can see that there. Very difficult card. One of my least, I can't say least favorite, one of the least pleasant cards in my personal opinion in the entire deck. But there is a feeling of aloneness, not like there's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely, right? And whatever's going on right now, you're feeling lonely in whatever decision you have to make. And I'm trying to translate because these cards, what I'm getting from the cards, what I'm feeling from them is very much right now you're on your own. And you have to kind of let go of things. And I'm trying to figure out how to word this. This is really, really tricky for me to word this because it's such a message to me of kind of just melting, letting go and melting into the lack of a decision. Does that make any sense? I don't think that makes any sense. I'm trying so hard to verbalize this and it's just not coming to me. But it's basically all the pain, all the anxiety, all the everything that is hurting you and frustrating you and really causing problems for you. Just let it go. I view this as like it's like if you have two colors, right? That or two let's say we have two color wheels. I did some art classes when I was young, so this is what I think of. Let's say you have a color wheel on this side and you have another color wheel on this side, but they're transparent enough, or color lens, I would say. They're transparent, right? Or they're see-through, so that when you put them on top of each other, you can see the color that they make in the middle. They make that the different color, combining the two colors. And there's almost this feeling of, if you can relax these two things, this I don't know if it's ideas or what it is. The feeling I'm getting is when you don't have an object, you don't have a person, place, thing, or animal, people, it's really hard to clarify here. But it's like there are two possibilities that if you let go, they will merge together into this one whole new color. If that makes any sense. But there's also the very last card in this one is the Emperor. But he's reversed, and in this case, it's like he's given up. I guess it's kind of the same message of that, just letting go. But it's almost sad, like there is this... it's a good thing, but there's a sad undertone to it. So I think it's meant to be, but it's not necessarily going to be easy to go through. So you're right now, you're kind of on your own, but the whole message is you are the one that has to go and make the decision to not let it bother you. You have to be the one to go and say, whatever's going on right now, I can't take all the responsibility for it and kill myself over it. I need to just let it go and trust that everything will work out all right. So that's very interesting for Group A there. So we're going to move on to Group B and see what we get with this one. Oh, why are you all reversed? You like making me like work. I don't have the reversed cards as well in my head as some people do. So we have the 9, the equivalent of, I should say, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Cups, and the 3 of Wands. So what's weird is the cards, message-wise, feel very much the same as far as like letting things go. But this is different. It feels different to me. It's as if this one is somehow more hopeful. You are letting things go specifically to make way for something new and different to come in. Like this is... like this might have a sadness to it. This might have an underlying sadness to it in Group A. But in Group B, this is a feeling of once you let that thing go, whatever it is, whatever decision you have to make, whatever is bothering you, that it's going to turn out... it just doesn't have that underlying feeling of sadness. This one has an underlying feeling of sadness, even though there's a peace about it in the end. This is like, I think of it more of the circle of life, right? You're dying to the old to make way for something new, which is kind of always the case, but sometimes you have to wait longer than others for that new to arrive. And in this case, it's like you're not focusing on, in the Group A, it's almost like your focus is just to cut things off and call it done and let everything go. This one is Group B is more of a, you're making way for something new and better to come in, and the letting go of whatever that is so much easier because you know something better is on its way. I almost feel like I need clarification on this. All right, so as far as decisions are made, wow. I'm dropping cards before I'm even shuffling them. far as decisions are made, what does Group A need to know and what does Group B need to know? So let's do Group A first. So Group A, what does Group A need to know? You've actually tried to come out a couple times, haven't you? I feel like that's the card that keeps flying out. Interesting. Infinite Spirit, don't let me miss a trick. I'm wondering if there is some kind of deception going on, which is why this letting thing go is so much more difficult in Group A. So don't miss a trick. All right, now we need Group B. What do they need to know? Okay, I feel like you need two of them. All right. Because I felt like this needed something and then this needed something. So in Group B, I have a wonderful work in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service for wonderful pay. Okay, it almost seems like this is job related. Like you're letting go of an old job to make way for a new job, which is really cool. If that's the case, that's awesome. I mean, congratulations. Good luck to you as that whole change takes place. But the third card is specifically, it's for both groups, either group. Right now you're feeling way down. And I felt the need to bring out another card, and I can see why. This says, in divine mind, there is only completion. Therefore, my demonstration is completed. My perfect work, my perfect health, my perfect home, my perfect love. There is only completion. Even if something feels unfinished and like you have to take care of all of these wires, right? You have to connect them to the right locations and drag them around with you. It's a lot of work, but even if you don't, if you personally do not finish the job, even if it doesn't feel complete to you, that's a better way of putting it. Even if it doesn't feel complete to you, that it is complete in the divine plan. That it is complete and it was meant to be in such a way. You are not meant to push through and push through and push through and push through. You are meant to do what you can do and stop when you need to stop. A certain amount of pushing through is good to make you grow. But if it is no longer making you grow and instead it is wearing you down to the point that you have nothing left to give, you're not growing anymore. Now you're just beating yourself up. If you give yourself the break that you need, the rest that you need, if you need to cut something off, I feel very strongly that this is the 10 of wires, right, which is the equivalent of the 10 of wands. But specifically, I like in this deck, they have the wires. It's gives you the mental image of something kind of being strung together, something like so entangled. Wires can very easily get confusing and overwhelming. Some of you need to cut some wires. You need to cut some connections. Whether it's you have overworked yourself with your job, after school activities, with projects, with just trying to do too many things. Whatever it is, trying to do too many things, you need to cut back. The reason you are feeling so weighed down is you need to cut back. And I think both in group A and in group B, the message on both sides is to just let things go. And it's going to be harder for one side than for the other, and I am so sorry that is the case. But I really do hope that it goes well regardless, because ultimately it is for the best. Even if it's a harder transition for you, for some than for others, it's a necessary one. And in the end, it'll work out for the best, and always, I shouldn't say always will, but always will. My personal belief is that there is a divine order to all of life. And that while our limited minds can only comprehend so much, we can only see a certain amount, that there is a divine order to things that does see the whole picture perfectly clearly and knows the end result, and that the end result is for the good of all. So I hope that you guys have a good day, and yeah, this was interesting doing the two different groups here. So I might do more of that in the future. But yeah, have a good one, and we hope to see you again.